Welcome to the EU SME Center's webinar. Today we are going to talk about China's CCC certification and its progress in 2019. This page is about Center. EU SME Center is a project funded by 6 partners including EU CCC, Euro Chambers, CBBC, CCI France Chamber, BenCham, and China-Italy Chamber of Commerce. The goal of the center is to support EU SMEs to do business with China and in China by providing various consulting, training, and other services. This slide is about me. I'm Ingrid, Conformity and Standard Advisor in the EU SME Center. I have been in this area for 14 years, helping companies from different industries to better understand China's market entrance policies. In this webinar, we are going to focus on the CCC certification and its changes in 2019. This is the agenda. We will start from a brief introduction of CCC, its scope, and then the technical requirements, how to apply, and is there any exemption, then to the changes of CCC regulation and the suggestions to EU SMEs. Introduction of CCC. What is CCC? CCC is an abbreviation of China Compulsory Certification. Basically speaking, it's a certification for product quality standardization. It was introduced in 2002 and applies to both imported products and Chinese products. For those listed products required CCC certificate, they are not allowed to be sold and used for business purpose in China without the certification. Therefore, for imported products, it is a market access requirement for the CCC listed products. Failure to comply with CCC regulations will lead to imported products being detained at the border or returned to the sender. Similarly, improper use of CCC marks may lead to serious results such as fines and penalties, depending on different circumstances. Now let's look at CCC authorities. The CCC is administered by the CNCA, which is China National Certification and Accreditation. Before the big restructure of China's authorities in March 2018, the CNCA was under AQSIQ as one of AQSIQ's key functions. The other main functions of AQSIQ included CIQ and SAC. After the restructuring reform, CNCA, as a key CCC in charge authority, moves from AQSIQ to a new created authority, i.e. the SAMR, State Administration of Market Regulation, while CIQ was transferred from AQSIQ to GACC. CNCA is still responsible for product certification and designates qualified certification bodies and labs for CCC certification. The list of designated bodies and labs may change depends on their capabilities. Currently, there are 31 certification bodies and 238 designated laboratories. New rules and regulations related to CCC certification can be found on the website of both CNCA and SAMR. Scope of CCC. China published its CCC Catalogue of Products since 2003. The Catalogue of Products is amended by the CNCA regularly. Products may be moved from the catalog, and some new products may be added. Currently, there are 119 products in 21 categories. 27 products out of 119 are subject to self-declaration management. We're going to explain what is self-declaration later. Products included certain types of toys, cables, electric tools, medical devices, vehicles and accessories, information technology equipment, etc. are required to obtain CCC certification. Exporters or manufacturers should check if both the HS code of the products and their description fall in the latest version of certification of the catalog of products. The latest version could be found on the website of CNCA. Technical requirements for CCC. Technical requirements for CCC refer to implementation rules and its relevant GB standards. CNCA publishes the implementation rules on its website and updates them regularly. In 2014, all of the implementation rules for automotive components were revised. Currently, there are 46 implementation rules and 7 general rules. The implementation rules include requirements for testing in the laboratories, on-site factory inspection, record keeping, etc. GB standards is Chinese national compulsory standards, defining the safety measures required for the products. The GB standards may or may not be identical to the respective international equivalents. In some cases, there's no international equivalent to the applicable standards. Therefore, it is essential to be familiar with the applicable GB standard. Application for CCC. Application for CCC. The application for CCC certification must be directed to one of the official designated certification bodies in China. The CQC, China Quality Certification Center, is one of the most famous ones. The first step is to prepare the required documents for submission. The required documents are outlined in the implementation rules. Once the documents are accepted, then a laboratory will be appointed for sample testing. Samples can be sent or shipped to the laboratories directly. The test report will be submitted to the certification body for approval. Then the on-site factory inspection can be scheduled. The purpose of the inspection is to confirm that the manufacturing facility meets Chinese standards for quality management and relevant CCC regulations are followed. The CCC certification will be issued if the final assessment of the inspection report is positive. After receiving the CCC certificate, the product can be marked by CCC logo. The CCC Mark is directly supervised by CNCA. There are two options: either to purchase the official CCC marks and affix them to the product, or to apply for printing the CCC mark directly on the product. The CCC certificate is valid for 5 years and must be reviewed annually as part of a follow-up certification, which includes a factory inspection or audit. CCC exemption. Products covered. by the category of products shall meet CCC requirements, regardless new products or used ones. But in certain circumstances, CCC exemption may be applicable. Here's the latest regulation in 2019 listed 6 scenarios that can apply for CCC exemption. This includes products for R&D and testing, or directly used for repair for end users, or for commercial exhibition purpose, etc. It's noteworthy that the 2019 regulation has reduced the scenario for CCC exemption from 9 to 6. For example, for temporary imported products cannot apply for CCC exemption now. The other 2 scenarios being removed from CCC exemptions are product parts imported for technology examination and production line introduction, and parts imported contract manufacturing or toll manufacturing used for manufacturing of machine for export purpose. Changes of CCC regulations in 2019. First is the SAMR notice number 34 in July. Some products are introduced into CCC Catalogue, such as explosion-proof electrical appliance, household gas appliance, and household refrigerators with a calibrated capacity of over 500 liters. This will be mandatory from October 1st, 2020. That to say, these new introduced products will not be allowed to be sold or imported without obtaining CCC certificate. Along with this notice, the authority also published corresponding implementation rules of these new categories. Another notice was published in October. The big change was that 18 products were removed from the CCC catalogue, including certain automotive components, such as interior trimming products, door locks, etc. At the same time, more products are now applicable for self-declaration. In total, there are 27 products apply for self-declaration, of which 7 subject to Procedure A, such as radio receivers, and 20 subject to Procedure B, such as certain automotive components like safety belt and safety glass. No CCC certificate will be granted for products applying CCC self-declaration mode. What is self-declaration? This conception was introduced in June 2018. It resembles a streamlined form of conventional CCC certification, but is associated with considerably higher risk for manufacturers and applicants. The applicant must be a Chinese company with a Chinese contract person in China. So overseas producers may select their subsidiaries, importers, or sellers as authorized representatives in China to be as the applicant. There are 2 types of self-declaration. Procedure A refers to self-determinated lab by applicant. It can be an internal lab, non-CCC testing lab, while Procedure B refers to testing by a CCC-designated lab. Self-declaration is valid for 10 years. Detailed requirements can be found in the implementation rule for self-declaration on CNCA's website. Suggestions to EU SMEs. CCC certificate and its requirements are complicated, and incompliance may lead to severe results. So besides to monitoring the changes of CCC regulation, it is suggested to cooperate with the Chinese certification body. In some cases, identifying whether a product falls under the CCC catalogue is not very easy and requires expert advice. And because of the whole process to obtain CCC certificate is time-consuming, to start the application in time is very important to avoid the shipments being detained at the port or returned of the goods. At the same time, a qualified Chinese importer or agent is very important because in some extreme cases, even if a product does not need a CCC certificate, in practice, a customs officer may still ask for the certificate. Different customs may have different practice. Therefore, a qualified import agent can reduce the risk of such import-related problems because they understand how to communicate with the local customs to smooth the process of customs clearance. Last but not least is the IPR issue. Because of the necessary document and information disclosure and factory inspection, EU SME Center has a webinar on how SMEs can protect their IP. And we also have an IPR SME help desk can provide further information on this. So the above are all about the CCC certification. This slide is about the publications you might be interested. You can send us an email for the report and guidelines. If you have any questions or inquiries, please register at our website. The last 3 pages are about EU SME Center and its achievements. We have strong knowledge and expertise and well-connected network. We provide various services to EU SMEs, such as webinars, trainings, publications, and answer inquiries. Thanks for listening to today's webinar. Let's get ready for China.